good evening everyone. Welcome to our Sahaja Yoga Meditation online. My name is David Vignoli and I will be talking tonight about the third week of Swadisthana Chakra. Metta mentioned last week that we would start the Nabi, but Nabi, the third chakra, will just start next week. And tonight I'll be talking a little bit more about my personal experience using the power of this chakra, of this energy center. So then we'll have a short presentation, then meditation, and then we'll have a talk of Shri Mataji, the founder of Sahaja Yoga, then a meditation again, and then we'll have the breakout sessions where we can go more in depth with the questions you might have. Astik is also here, helping and giving support to anyone who have any questions. And we can start. I will start with the presentation. And before that, sorry, I just would like to ask if anyone who's coming for the very first time, anyone who is didn't come to a program of Sahaja Yoga, doesn't know anything about Sahaja Yoga, if you are coming for the very first time, so if you can write on the chat, so I also can add a short introduction about Sahaja Yoga as well. Okay, so I will start here. And I will start by talking a little bit about one of the qualities, or the main quality of the Swadhisthana Chakra, that's creativity. So I'll talk here about how to become creative. So I will tell a little bit more about my experience, so how Sahaja Yoga helped me to become more creative. And I hope that this experience can inspire you. And also, I will give some tips of how we can become a little bit more creative. If anyone is coming for the very first time, I haven't seen the chat. I also can add an introduction in the end. Okay. So Manish, it's coming for the very first time, so I'll add a short introduction about Sahaj and also the self-realization exercise. Okay, so how it all started for me, I will tell my experience. When I entered in Sahaja Yoga, I was 16 years old. I started Sahaja Yoga in Rio, in Brazil, and I was 16 years old, and then I had to decide what I would do when I go to university, what I would become now when I would eventually grow up. So my heart was always with the idea of becoming an artist, of becoming an illustrator. So this was something that I always had the desire to become. But you know, like sometimes it might be a profession that you don't know if you end up you know, on the street, and it can be quite hard for you actually to make a living out of art. So I talked to my parents. My father is an engineer, and my father said, okay, David, I can help you perhaps if you want to become an engineer. And I thought, okay, so I want to become an artist, but I need more that confidence. So I use a lot about Sahaja Yoga, my meditations, to ask if I should actually become an artist. And Sahaja Yoga really gave me that experience, gave me that confidence and the peace of mind and the balance, of course, to make the right decision. And I became an artist. I went to the university and I became an artist, and I work today here in London. And this is an example of what I do. And I draw basically certain illustrations, and this was for a school, so I was creating a lot of illustration based on the ideas of the children. And I also do for all kinds of clients, but mainly it's doing illustrations. And a lot of people always ask when I'm doing these drawings, like, "Oh, you are paying to do that? Are you paid to do that?" And the children are also very jealous because I was the only one who could draw on the wall there of the school. So basically, the artist is the child who never stopped drawing. So to become a child, no, as the quality of the first chakra, to I think someone has the microphone on, but anyways, so really, it's really about becoming a child, the quality of the first center, the Muladhara chakra, and you will see that all these qualities they are really connected. So to become an artist, you really have to keep that child alive. Okay, when I do art and when I meditate, I enter in the flow. You might be familiar with that expression because a lot of musicians or a lot of athletes also they call the zone. So it's actually a state of mind that you are really enjoying what you're doing. And when you are drawing, when you are playing music, you enter this state. And when you meditate as well, you can enter that state and you enjoy so much that you don't feel tired. It's it's a state that you always want to be in. So that's why it's so powerful for musicians and artists in general. You can see sometimes jazz players, they are improvising, they are really in that flow, they are in the music, completely one with the music. They are not thinking, and they really can enjoy that blissful state. So this is the quality of the Swadhisthana. So the art manifests this quality of very strong of Swadhisthana, and you can really enjoy it. So one of the tips is do something artistic. It's always play some music, write some poems. Don't think too much. This is also very important. So everything is really connected in a way. If you think too much, you judge too much yourself, or you are using too much the conditions of your country. I know that in England, for example, we think a lot. We use too much our minds. So if you use too much your mind, if you use too much your brain, you started losing the joy of creating and using art. So do something creative will be very good for you. Play is the highest form of research. A quote by Albert Einstein. Also, some of the inspirations, one of the strongest inspirations that he had in the moment that he was playing. So it's very important to have a free time and don't forget to play. So the more you can have a free time, it's the moment that you really can enjoy yourself. So that you shouldn't be too much in the right side, not too much activity, too much mental activity. You have really to try to calm down so that you can enjoy more. So it's really about having free time, taking free time. Also important not to be too much on the mobile phones. I've heard once from a philosopher. He says like, you should surf on the internet, but not to sink in the internet. So it's very important that you try to use the internet the minimum and really have your free time to play and enjoy. Also, one thing that's also pretty much connected to me. I'm African descendant. And Africa is the continent which is connected to the Swadhisthana. And it's really a very creative place. But even more than that, as I come from Brazil, from the Americas, the Africans, they really create a lot of, we know from the culture of the Americas. And I think one of the most important aspects in that is that they came as slaves at that time. So they lost their language, they lost their names, so they had to start from zero. And a lot of people today, for example, they think that in Brazil there is only African descendants, which is not true. but they created a culture that's so unique and it's so powerful that everyone is connected to that culture. Everyone it's really identifies Brazil with the African culture. The same in part to the US as well. Great part of the art from the Americas is created by African descendants. And one personality that's very important and a strong advocate about the imagination, about the power of your Swadhisthana, the power to enjoy, the power of the left side that's connected to our desire. That's William Blake. And he says that the imagination is not a state, it's the human existence itself. So let's think about that and enjoy really this state of imagination, really try to come back to when we were children. And of course, the strongest tip is to meditate every day. The moment that you meditate, you're not using your mind, you're not too much restrain your own potential. And that's the moment where everything works during meditation. So one of also good things for our Swadhisthana, especially the right Swadhisthana, is to use the ice pack. I don't know if it was explained before, but you can use ice pack on your left Swadhisthana, on your right Swadhisthana. Always the cold, the right side is very heated up, so you have to use ice pack to cool it down. And on the other side, actually, you keep things cool. And the foot soak, it's also very important for our Swadhisthana Chakra. Okay, so just a very short recap. So it's the second chakra is the Swadhisthana, and that's one of the most important chakras for our attention and for our enjoyment as well. Shri Mataji Nirmaladevi is the founder of Sahaja Yoga, and we use her picture. That's quite powerful also to help us to keep in that state of meditation. Okay, so there is, I think Manish is coming for the first time, so I'll show quickly. We'll do the self-realization exercise, and I'll use also the chakra chart. So Sahaja Yoga, it's a spontaneous way to achieve your self-realization or achieve the yoga. So Sahaja Yoga starts with the awakening of the energy called Kundalini. That's at the base of our spine. And when this Kundalini pierces through the center channel, reaches the top of our heads, and that's the moment when we have the yoga. And Sahaja Yoga means a spontaneous yoga. So it's a spontaneous connection with our divine power. So what's important to know about Sahaja Yoga is that we have three energy channels. We have the left channel that's connected to our emotions. The right side, the right channel, it's connected to the action, to the future. And the center channel is the balance, especially the moment when we are in meditation. So as you can imagine, always when we use energy from the right side, it's the moment when we are thinking about the future. The moment that we use the energy from the left side is the moment that we use our emotions, or when we are thinking about something that happened in the past. So as you can imagine, most of the time we are thinking about something that we are going to do or about something that happened. But Sahaja Yoga really helps you to achieve this state of thoughtless awareness. It's the moment that your center channel is achieved and starts working. So what we are going to do, we are going to do this exercise, the self-realization exercise, and we are going to show you how we are going to do it. And the technique now, the Sahaja Yoga was created by Shri Mataji, and that's why it's also important to have her photograph, and her photograph also helps to keep the state of thoughtless awareness of meditation. Okay, so we are going to self-realization exercise. So the self-realization exercise consists in 7 steps. And we are going to do affirmations using the right hand. That's the hand of the action on our left side. And I just show here initially there will be these 3 positions, but there will be other seven or 6 positions as well. So the second one, it's on the left, and then it's actually on our Swadisthana, and then we go here to different chakras, and we're going to start now. So you can all close our eyes, but you can always be guided with which position we have to be in each step. So first thing we are going to do, we are going to close our eyes. We can close our eyes, sit comfortably, and we can bring our right hand on our heart. And here we are going to do the following question. Mother, am I the purest spirit? We are going to say to ourselves 3 times, Mother, am I the purest spirit? These affirmations, they have the power to awaken the quality of these chakras. Okay, now we can move our right hand on the upper part of our abdomen. And here we are going to ask, Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I my own guru? Now let's move our right hand on the lower part of our abdomen. And here we are going to ask our Mother Kundalini, Mother, please give me the pure knowledge. We can say 6 times, Mother, please give me the pure knowledge. The knowledge is also one quality of the Swadisthana Chakra. Now let's bring back our right hand on the upper part of our abdomen, and now we are going to say 10 times, now with full confidence, Mother, I am my own master. I am my own guru. Now let's bring our right hand on our heart and we can say 12 times, Mother, I am the pure spirit. You can say 12 times, Mother, I am the pure spirit. Okay, now let's bring our right hand on the left side of our shoulder and we can move our head slightly to the right side. And here we are going to say 16 times, Mother, I'm not guilty. Mother, I'm not guilty. Now let's bring our right hand on our forehead. And here we are going to say without a specific number of times, Mother, I forgive. I forgive everyone and I forgive myself. Now, let's bring our right hand on the back of our heads. And here we are going also without a specific number of times. Simply say, Mother, if I committed any mistake against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. Now let's bring our right hand on the top of our heads. We can stretch our fingers and we can press the fontanelle bone area, our scalp. We can rotate our scalp 7 times in a clockwise direction. 7 times we are rotating our hand on our scalp in a clockwise direction, and each time we are going to ask, Mother, please give me the yoga, give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me the yoga and give me my self-realization. Okay, now we can bring both our hands on our lap and we can meditate for a couple of minutes. Can always use the power of creativity to help us during meditation as well. Jago, 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 jago kundalini ma karo sape kripa jago kundalini ma karo sape kripa Sahasrara me age Sahasrara me age Chu hilenge wo hama sama Jago kundalini ma Karo sape kripa Karo sape kripa Karo sape kripa We can now, with our right hand, we can check above our heads if a cool breeze or a hot breeze is flowing from the top of our heads or perhaps from our hands. We can now check with our left hand. Let's check once again with the right hand. And then with the left hand again. And we can now bring both our hands on our lap. And now we are going to listen to a talk of Shri Mataji. And Shri Mataji is going to talk about creativity and knowledge. And through the voice of Shri Mataji also you can feel, always check the vibrations on your hands. It's also very powerful for your meditation. So ask if Astik could play the talk. It's an old talk.
Now as the Kundalini rises, she enlightens your second center, which we can call as the Swadisthana Chakra for the time being, though it is the third center, but first, second center. You become extremely creative. Extremely creative. I know of a gentleman who came to me, he had no job. And he said, Mother, I have no job, and what should I do? I said, all right, what do you want to do? He said, whatever you say. I said, all right, why don't you become an interior decorator? He said, me, I don't know what is a teak wood, I don't know what is a rosewood, how am I to become an interior decorator? I said, you just use your vibrations. And you'll be surprised, he earned millions of rupees out of that profession. Because you become extremely creative. Your sense of creation becomes so subtle and so beautiful that you start understanding art at such a high level that people don't know how, when you are not educated in art, how you can do it. I went to Japan once and they were having an ikebana competition or something. So I went to see the ikebana class. They requested me, why don't you do some flower arrangement? I said, all right, I'll do it. I did it. And I got the highest marks without knowing a word about ikebana. Just surprising. I got the highest mark. I can do lots of things which I have never done before, like architecture. I have built houses without doing any architecture. I have done decorations of the houses. I have done all kinds of things without knowing how to do it. Because you become so creative. Music you start understanding so much better. There are people now, in America there's a girl, she had a horrible hoarse voice, absolutely hoarse voice, and she always used to go out of tune. So I told her, you shouldn't sing songs before me because it's rather funny. She said, Mother, why don't you give me a good voice? I said, you just try your Vishuddhi Chakra. If your Vishuddhi Chakra is corrected, you'll be all right. Why don't you sit down? So the Vishuddhi Chakra she tried on Vishuddhi Chakra giving vibrations, and she sings so melodiously now that I tell you she can be a great singer. So the creativity, that also is a blessing of your power, of the goddess of learning. Boys who could not study in the schools were absolutely duffers. Some people brought, there is a boy, recently I received a letter from him. When he came to me, his father said that he is going to be taken out of school because he is good for nothing, he cannot remember anything, he is absolutely finished. I said, all right, doesn't matter, let him take to Sahaja. He got his realization. Not only that he passed with first class, but he got a scholarship. Then he passed another exam, he got a scholarship. Now he's got a very big job. At a very young age, he wrote to me, Mother, no one can believe that a duffer like me has been so much highly placed. All the boys who got scholarships in Maharashtra, in schools, in colleges and university are Sahaja Yogis. It is such a tremendous force that starts working in. If you try to give vibrations, say, to fruits or to trees or to, say, wheat and such things which are very important for life, any food, you'll be amazed that the food also grows so much more and the taste is so good and it lasts you so longer. Like one gentleman tried, a university professor in agricultural college, on some wheat, some vibrations. And he was amazed that when they collected this wheat was at least 6 times more than normal. And when this wheat was stored in a big hall like this, there were so many other things. The rats, who are always a menace in India, never touched that wheat. They ate all the rest of it but never touched the wheat. Even the animals, the snakes, even the tigers, of course the dogs and the cats understand it much more. They understand you. They know that you are a saint. They'll never touch you. They'll never trouble you. Even a tiger sees a saint, he never attacks. You can handle a tiger very easily. This is the power of a saint. So you develop a tremendous capacity of creativity. The greatest capacity you have then is of creating a new human being out of an ordinary human being. This is the greatest blessing you have, that you transform an egg into a bird. And that is the epitome, that is the spiritual power you have, by which you can transform the whole human race into a new race which has this fifth dimension within yourself. You can start talking on science. Now we have a scientist here, and he's done his science, he's a doctor of science and this and that in chemistry. And I explained to him about this, where is the hydrogen and oxygen and nitrogen and all that within us, and he was amazed. He said, "Mother, how do you know all these things?" I said, "I don't know how I know, but I know. That's what it is. You just have a look at these." And he was amazed how I was telling him about spiral movement and linear movement of peptones. He said that for this I had to study so much. I said, "For Sahaja Yoga you don't have to study. A little bit you know and immediately you click the point." Now, this is the second thing that you know in your learnings, in your education, you are all right. But the mastery of the center comes. The mastery of the center comes when you know the pure knowledge of handling the Kundalini, the pure knowledge of spirit, the pure knowledge of the blessings of God, of Rutambhara Pragya. If you know that, that is the highest, that you achieve gradually as you grow. Because when the center starts expanding on the sides, you start expanding in your personality, in your sensitivity, and in your evolutionary ascent. So that is how you start growing from one to another, to another, to another.
So let's now keep the meditation. So let's keep ourselves in meditation with both our hands open on our lap, and let's try to keep the attention on the top of our heads. We can massage a little bit the top of our heads. And let's try to stay in meditation. We can now give vibrations to our Swadhisthana. So first we are going to use our left hand, and we can bring to our right Swadhisthana. That's just below our liver, on the right side of our bodies. And here we're going to ask, Mother, please calm down our thoughts. Please cool down our right Swadhisthana. We can now bring our left hand on our lap, and now with our right hand we can bring our right hand on our left Swadhisthana, that's in the lower part of our abdomen, and here we are going to ask, Mother, please give me the pure knowledge. Please destroy any false knowledge that might be in our left Swadhisthana. And now we can bring our right hand on our center Swadhisthana, that's in the same height as the previous positions, but on our center channel, a bit below the navel. And here we are going to ask, Mother, please give me the creativity, the divine creativity and the sense of aesthetics. And we can now bring back our attention to the top of our heads and stay in meditation.
Shri Guru Charana Sarojaraja Nijamanamu Kurasudhari Bharano Raghubara Bimalajasu Jodayaku Palachari Buddhihina Tanu Janike Sumirahum Pavanakumar Bala Buddhi Vidya Tehu Mohi Harahu Kale Savika Jaya Hanumana Jnana Guna Saga Jaya Kapi Shakti Hunlo Kauja Ramaduta Tulipa Baladama Anjani Putra Pavana Sutana Mahavira Vikramba Jarangi Kumatini Varasumati Kesangi Kanchara Varana Viraja Subesa Kanana Kundala Kuntita Kesa Hattabhajra Uradvraja Viraje Kande Mojajane Usar Sankara Suvana Kesari Hinanda Teja Pratapa Mahajagavanda Idiyavana Guni Atichatu Ramakaja Karibeko At Prabhu Charita Sunibeko Rasya Ramalakana Sehita Manabhasya Sukshmarupadhari Siya Hindikava Vikatarupadhari Lankajara Bhimarupadhari Asura Samhare Ramachandra Kehi Kaja Savar Laya Sanjivana Lakana Jiyaya Shri Raghubira Harashiuralai Raghupati Ki Bahota Badai Tumma Mama Priya Varatai Samabai Bhavanatanaya Sankataharana Mangalamuratiru Ramalakana Sita Sahita Hridaye Basaru Surabu We can now gently open our eyes, and if you already know, we can raise our kundalinis and give ourselves abandon. So it's basically for the ones who are new. So we basically bring the left hand up, and the right hand is going to rotate, and then we come up and tie a knot. We'll come back a little bit. Again, the right hand comes from the base of our spine, the right hand rotating around the left hand, and when we come up, we tie one knot, and the second time we tie two knots. And we do that a third time. And then we tie 3 knots. 1, 2, 3. Always in the beginning and at the end of the meditation we do that exercise, and we also do the bandhan, that we are going to spread the energy around our bodies. So we are going to start here on the left side, and we come back and we count 1, and we do that 7 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we are going, let me just stop the share here. And so I hope you enjoyed the meditation, and we have that you had like a deep meditation, and we managed to reach the state of thoughtlessness and thoughtless awareness. And so next week we are going to talk about the Nabi chakra. So I hope it was a good wrap up about in these 3 weeks about the Swadisthana chakra. So I would like to thank Astik for this help and the technical support. And thank you very much. So I'm going to now to go to the breakout sessions. And thank you very much. So see you next week. Bye bye.